Hello again and welcome. This is Modern American Gangster, and this is Modern American Gangster's news and current events. It is the 31st of October. It is Halloween, and we are moving into the winter months quicker and quicker. So, what's been going on since the last news and current events video? Not much. We know that the alien mothership, comet, whatever, has entered our solar system, maybe it's behind the sun, and it appears it's going to be another giant think burger, where they get the people all fired up. They tell everyone that there is aliens, there's interdimensional beings, there's extra-dimensional extraterrestrials, interterrestrials, all these different kinds of aliens. They dangle the carrot as if they're going to announce all this, that the aliens are going to show up, and then nothing ever happens. They don't even, you would think they'd be power grid, having connection problems or something, but it's just more lies, more deception, more kick the can down the road. And we see this over and over and over. They come out, they tell you, we are being visited, these things have been here forever, it's a biblical connection. Everything basically we've been telling people for the past 15 to 20 years. They acknowledge it, and say, yep, the conspiracy people are right. However, they do not mention lizard people or reptilians. And I think that's because of the biblical connection to the demons, which is the same kind of connection with the gray aliens. So, moving further into the future, as we are proven right over and over and over again, and our audience ranks smaller and smaller and smaller to make sure the people don't find out that you've been telling them the truth for the past 15 years. No, they're going to listen to Joe Rogan and whoever the fuck, these people who just are totally controlled opposition people. They don't give a fuck about any of their audience, and it's all just like a joke where when it really comes time to give a definitive answer, they all go, oh, it doesn't really matter, who cares? And this is why we can't ever get anywhere. We can't seem to get anywhere ever and get out of this clean that we're in. So we last talked, and the silver was going up to $50 an ounce. The gold was at about 4,000. Waiting for the next pop over here to then hold those prices. At least for silver. Silver will go up to $100 an ounce by the end of the year, and gold will go up to 5,000, and that'll be the next lock put into place. The Federal Reserve Bank, under this Jerome Powell, has lowered interest rates and has said they're going to print another $1.5 trillion in U.S. paper and debt money. And that means prices go up higher because your money is worth less and less and less. Gearing up for the financial reset whenever that is to take place. And we think this is probably going to be taking place very soon because of the government is shut down. They're going to replace the workings of the government and the funding of the government by the tariff money, and you're going to see things take off to the next level. Now, what does that mean? It means that supposedly they have just like eliminated the student loan debt, and the credit card debt is next. So there really is no evidence of all this happening except for they did just get rid of the student loan debt, which is fraudulent. All debt based in this U.S. Federal Reserve currency is fraudulent. And that's where we're at. So they use the tariff money to pay off the student debt, and then they refocus the tariff money back to credit card debt, and then they lower that. Then there'll be mortgage debt, and they'll lower that. And then we'll get into the crashing of the economy and all this stuff, which is just like they really are waiting for everything to happen in the same week. That's why there is so many problems never truly get addressed because they are waiting for 0 hour. And I honestly don't think anybody really knows when all this is going to happen. Okay, it's not like the Trump QAnon people can just press a button and all this gets going. I don't think anyone truly knows when this is going to take place. Now, another big event that's in the news is the cutting off of the 42 million Americans who are on food stamps and SNAP benefits and EBT. It's part of the larger plan because I think they are going to cancel the EBT, cancel the welfare and the Section 8 housing and all this stuff. And then they are going to start a universal basic income. Now, whether that's $400 a week, $500 a week, $2,000 a month, it really is not a lot, but we need to do something because people act like it is just a handout, and people have been using it as a handout for many, many years. But when this AI comes in and automation completely puts everyone out of a job, you have to have some kind of universal basic income, or it's just going to be homeless people everywhere. There's so much money to go around. Is it better to pay everyone $2,000 or to have homeless people sitting in the streets and stabbing people on trains and stuff? Now, you could also make the argument they need to, create mental institutions again, 100 mental institutions, 2 in every state. Really take care of the crazy liberal people who have been brainwashed by the education system from our Zionist friends. And then they have to do some kind of a universal income for people. And then maybe start off giving every American half an acre of land in a tiny house or something to just get them off the streets, get people a chance to get back into some semblance of normal society interactions and stuff. Now, a lot of people don't like that, but they have to do something. If you think the homelessness and the drugs and all that shit is bad now, wait until there are no more lower money jobs like at the fast food restaurants and the Target. We're already rolling out. Oh, basically these stores are going to turn into like in Japan and China. It's just everything is vending machines. So you'll go into your store, you'll you'll have to scan and pay for your laundry soap, and then a little flap opens so you can take it. And there'll be no more, the cart will already keep track, and you're buying it in the store location. And then you figure out how to find the angry black people to get your groceries. Or, order it and have it delivered itself. And then they'll bring in self-driving cars and automation, and it's so dystopian, and they don't really have any answers of how to build community or anything like that because there is a certain population sect that doesn't want anything to do. Okay, they don't want whites getting together. They don't want positive community people to get together. And this is a lot of the Judeo-Christian ideas surrounding all this stuff, is that everyone has to be fighting each other while the Jews are in solidarity against everyone else. And we see this more and more by this government shutdown. These black people fucking hate your guts. They hate white people, your fucking white skin. They hate your white culture. They're gonna fucking stab you and kill you to get your groceries. And any white person that stands in their way, they're gonna just kill them because they need to feed their 9 kids from their 7 different baby daddies. And they're used to getting $4,800 a month in EBT. They sell and buy drugs and fingernails and heroin and all this bullshit that we see in this black community. And the Hispanic community is the exact same. It's just, I go to the grocery store and it's just, I went to Food Max. Food Max is like really cheap groceries. That's what you have to get. And every single person in there, there'll be like one white elderly person, there'll be a white drug addict looking couple, and then 15 Mexicans filled with carts just filled to the fucking brim of sodas and candy and beer and chips and multiple bags of chips and all this crap that they just buy. Fat, disgusting food. And we pay for that. We pay for that. Now, a couple years, like 15 years ago, I had to get on EBT. And it was like $147 a month. Okay, and then I got a job, I got rid of the EBT. But now it's 40, if you have 5 kids or something, $3,000 a month in EBT. That's more money than you would get if you were working. So why would anybody go to work if you're just gonna fucking pay them $4,800 to take care of their fucking black bastard kids? It's just never gonna happen. It should be, the EBT and welfare should be, if you're down on your luck and you need help, it's there as a temporary help for you, not a permanent lifestyle where you can live off of this. It's not even that they're grateful. It's that, like, you owe them. You owe them this money that you are paying for, and all this shit is paying for. And it's just, the only group that seems to really be getting fucked over is the white Christian people. And we can thank the boomers for this, because this is the society that they left us. I know people don't like bashing the boomers, but it's like, fuck, man. In the 70s, the minimum wage was like $1.25 in silver quarters. Like, so you got $1.25 an hour. You can do the math at home and tell me what 5 silver quarters are worth today. Easily $65. Okay, and silver is $50 an ounce, and you've got 5% of an ounce. 4 quarters is an ounce plus another quarter. It's like $65 an hour that these boomers were making, and now they just get a job, work harder, and I don't have a job. Can you give me a job? That's not fair with you. You're a MAGA person. You're white. It's just, they're, they don't understand why everybody fucking hates the boomer generation. It's because of shit like this. You look at all this fucking socialist mayor in New York that's gonna open the jails and all this stuff. Every single buddy supporting them is like, either they're boomer-aged lesbian people, or they're the children offspring of the single moms of the boomer generation. that come from two-parent homes, and it's like you can't tell these people fucking anything. They don't want to hear it. They don't fucking care. They want you to pay for their life, pay for their food, pay for their house, pay for their insurance and their medical care, and then they go get on 40 different kinds of medicines because they're transgender and they need their hormone treatments and they need this and they need that and they need this and you have to pay for them because of capitalism and it just goes in a fucking circle. They'll never be happy. It's the same with fucking black people. All they talk about is reparations, and we're paying them $4,800 a week, and paying for their Section 8 housing, and paying for their cell phones, and their medical care, and their diabetes medicine, because they all weigh 300 pounds. And that's another thing with these EBT fucking people. They're all morbidly obese. I've seen 40 videos of these people to say and they're going to rob and riot and loot, and they're all 300 plus pounds. None of these people are fucking starving. All their kids are fat, and they're disgusting little fat trash people, and the parents are fucking trash, and the communities are fucking trash, and there's garbage everywhere, and they make more money than middle class people working two jobs. I mean, if you're working two jobs, are you bringing home $4,800 a month? And that's not counting they get free, everything is fucking free. And it's like how the people that are going to do the rioting are the people who've been getting this money forever, trading in their EBT for cash. Man, you should have been saving your fucking money because I think they're just stepping back and they're going to let these black people have at it. And all these loser trashy people are just stealing and taking some stuff, loading up their purse, loading up their bags, and just stealing shit. And it's like, hey, the codes are clear. Who's like, do something. Go ahead. And if we cancel our EBT, we have to steal oatmeal cream pies and honey buns and snack cakes and chips and other chips and more kind of chips and steaks. Not just any steaks. The $47 filet mignon, and let's go get some lobsters too. Because, we gotta feed our kids. Kids need our food, y'all. We gotta get this money for our kids. Steak and lobsters. And it's just, not one person will call out this as being a fucking black, horrible nigger fucking problem. Horrible Mexican people who aren't in this country, they don't belong in this country, they fucking hate this country. They do not assimilate, they do not speak English, they wave their foreign Mexican flags, and they white people and all this shit, and also the Southwest $4,800 a month, white people. We need your money. You got white privilege. And it's just working nonstop. You can't stop because fuck, you miss one day. You can't afford. You actually can't afford food for your fucking kids. And it just, it's madness, and it's like they're totally doing this on purpose. So what does that mean? Who's doing this? Well, it's clear they want massive social unrest. Now, the date is November 3rd, was the last I heard. It's all these black people on Twitter or TikTok or whatever the fuck say. They're all going to go into the stores at 9:30, they're going to load up their carts, and then they're going to get out and just steal. So, when they close the store down, because you can't, there's, without the EBT money coming in, which is our money subsidized from the government to pay these people, if the EBT goes away nationwide, half of these stores are going to close. Because you can't rely on the other third of the whites paying for their shit actually to have enough profit to keep the stores filled. Now, when the stores close down, and the black people really are out of food, because it's not like you just need eggs and milk and bread. No, they gotta get the filet mignons and the lobsters and all this other shit. This is gonna cause a magic, not a man, what am I talking about? A reverberation event that's just gonna carry out to the urban areas. And when these communities of black people run out of food, they're going to be loading up in their brand new car, driving up to the smaller communities and robbing their stores. And at some point, this is going to enter into a you need armed people. I want to say whites, but armed blacks too. You need to be patrolling your community and stopping these thefts from occurring. Because if you don't, the stores will close down and move out of your area. Okay, this all happened in like Portland, Oregon, where all the Walmarts shut down and leave, the Targets shut down and leave, all the big grocery stores shut down and leave, and now we're in a food crisis, and they can't get food. All you're doing is stealing shit, which is like, it's just the easiest solutions can be found, but people just, it seems like no one's addressing any of this. The only thing fucking Trump talks about is fucking Israel and trade wars with China. It's bullshit. Where the fuck is our money? Once again, this is like all year we've been pulling this up. There has been no arrests, no tariff money, no stimulus money, no COVID reparations, no tax refunds, nothing. Nothing has been sent, and Trump's been in office for how long? And now 40 million people can't afford food. Well, let me tell you something. Without the EBT, 40 million people are going to have no food, and the rest of the people don't have a lot of food either. Okay? It's just, at what point is this going to stop? It's going to turn violent the longer this fucking goes on. And then, as the blacks are looting and rioting and murdering and stabbing people on trains and stabbing people in the parking lot and beating elderly grandmothers and stealing their purses, and you're going to have someone, at first it'll be the Middle Eastern store owner is going to shoot some 12-year-old black kid for robbing his thing. And they'll say, well, we can have the Middle Eastern guy running the store, blah, blah, blah. They need a white person to a black teen or a preteen robbing and looting and killing, where they can then justify the next George Floyd super riot and move their New World Order agendas further. And at what point do we, as citizens, are cared for our lives because we happen to be white, and these motherfuckers are out for blood? They don't want to hear your excuses. Slavery was 200 years ago. What the fuck are you talking about? Reparations from slavery. They don't want to hear it. Gavin Newsom is going to get reparations for black people from slavery, and California is a state that never had slaves. So what are you paying them for? We're going to be paying the descendants from states that aren't California pay for their reparations from them being slaves in Georgia somewhere in 1820 or something. It's like they're trying to aggravate the whites. FYI, it's all a Jewish thing to get people to somehow force the white race to defend itself. And when that day comes, you better just be fucking ready to go. Because this could happen very quickly. It could happen over a few months. But eventually, the whites are going to be tired of picking up the check for every other race and being hated for it. So why don't we just cut off all the fucking aid and EBT and stuff and still be hated for it anyway? That's where we're going. And if you want to try to steal my groceries in the parking lot, they took a fucking page right out of my zombie preparation book. When everyone's rioting in the stores, you let them in the parking lot, take their shit, and go. But if I was white and my family was going into the store, I'd be out waiting in the store with a handgun. And if you touch any one of my family people, we're going to just kill you. Okay, we can't allow this to take place. And a couple people will go down, but, you might have to kill 100 people in order to save 1,000. You have to get these black people to understand the message that if you do this, we're going to kill you. Now, they're not educated people, they're very low IQ people, and they're not going to get it. They don't care. They don't care. And if you're a black person who is with it and pays your bills and takes care of your family, I hope you start speaking out at what these other people at the black community are up to. Shooting people, killing people, murdering people, shooting people, getting into a fight one-on-one, and then six people jump in and stomp someone to death. It's like, dude, this is not going to end well for you. And all this is on camera, so we all revert back and see how these people acted and how their actions directly turn to the solutions that we have to bring up. Now, they've already said cutting off this EBT and these food stamps. All these illegal people that are here can't afford to live in the U.S. anymore without government aid. They got to return back to their homeland if they don't get the $3,000 a month in free government assistance. Time to head back. And then, you know what I would do? These black people, I would offer them $100,000. Okay. Now, if they're making $4,800 a month, 3,800, you multiply that times 12, they're making $40,000 to $50,000 a year from the government. So we're already paying this money. You offer them $100,000 each to return to Africa as a reparation and resettlement program. If they take the money, you get rid of their U.S. citizenship. You're no longer a U.S. citizenship. We have bought your citizenship from you for the reparations money of 100 grand. You send them all back and good riddance. That is the final solution. Get them the fuck back to their land. It's not like they don't have their own continent, biggest landmass within our realm that they can go to and do whatever the fuck they want. You can farm, you can garden, you can make ghettos and inner cities and shoot each other. You can do whatever you want. Head the fuck back. The same with the Mexicans and the great people. Head on back anytime you want, and we need to get things fixed. Now, you can look at Europe, you can look at France and Germany and Ireland and Canada, and look at all the Muslims and all of the invading third world, and that's what America is turning into. Okay? When rent is $3,000 a month, how are you anyone affording to pay rent? I mean, this is like the total most slavery society we're in, and everybody says that they're so free when you're not really free to do anything. You have no money saved up. One thing, your hot water heater goes out. And it's like, I started saving money. My hot water heater went out 6 months ago. That's $1,000. Then I needed a roof. Now the roof is fucking done. But it's like, it's impossible to save money and get out of this system when everything is so fucked up in control. And now they're going to print $1.5 trillion again and just mix it into the economy, which they're going to launder a large portion of that money for their Democrat re-election campaigns. Same way they were using the USAID money to run their re-election campaigns and all this stuff. I look at people and it's like people do not want to address any of these things because they don't want to be mean and they don't want to be racist or sexist or homophobic or anti-Semitic or any of the other bullshit words they have assigned to you when you start to notice the problem of how faggoty these faggots are. How disgustingly gay and faggoty these people are. This isn't they want to get married because they love each other. No, they want to dance nude in front of your child and pretend like they're a dog and shit in public and blow each other on the corner. And the most disgusting faggoty shit ever. And it's the same with the niggery people. This isn't black Negroes trying to start a business and their systematic racism. No, it's the most horrific nigger behavior ever. These people are just, they don't see any problem with it. They're going to rob and steal and shoot and kill people and murder and smoke dope all day and kill people, and they're gangsters. They're gang culture. And the same with the Jewish stuff. These aren't peaceful priests who want to just pray and worship God in their own way. No, when you look into it, it gets into the most dark, evil, satanic shit ever. Blood rituals and killing this chicken, they're going to put their sin into. It's evil fucking witchcraft that these people are involved in. And we just sit back like, they've brainwashed you with this Judeo-Christian shit to turn the other cheek and do not bear false witness upon thy neighbor and do unto others as you would do to you. Well, they're doing unto you as the way they do unto their others. And it's bad. Murdering you, killing you, stealing from you, robbing you, uh, extorting your money, stealing money from the government, getting every little penny they can, and then at the end of the day, it's fuck you. We don't care. We hate you because you're white, and we're going to kill all of you. There's going to be a civil war. They're just going to mass kill the whites. And they think we're just going to sit back and let them fucking kill us. I don't think so. I think things are going to violently turn the other way. And they're just giving these people the opportunity to rob and steal and kill and all this stuff. Now, through COVID, they have already installed biometric face scanners, DNA collection, smart city defense grids. So if you're going to the store to rob and steal, they've been monitoring your vehicle for the past 9 blocks. They know exactly who you are. They know where you live. They can tell your driver's license number. They can scan your face. Once you go into the school stores, all the faces are scanning. Now, if, let's say, this new quantum financial system is coming in and there's going to be debt relief and universal income and money and grants for people to start businesses, and you're one of these people who rioted and looted, I would imagine you're not going to be accepted into that new system. Violent, criminal, animal people are not going to be in this new system. And if the fact that they don't see it as a setup is it's almost comical how they think they're going to get away with robbing and stealing from the stores on November 3rd. All it takes is, which you would think now they would already have the National Guard and the police like super patrolling the stores and the Walmarts and stuff like that to dissuade people from doing this, but they're not. They really want the door open. Come on in. We've got tons of free food and lobsters and malt liquor for you to come and take. Help yourself. Come on in. Hey, Trump, take away your food stamps. Come and steal all you want. And this is the beginning of the next military on the street. Trump calls it the National Guard. This is already part of the bigger plan. What are they waiting for? It seems like, are they going to let this George Floyd shit happen again? Because we're not paying for your reparations food stamps anymore. It's so ridiculous, but I mean, we just got to sit back and enjoy the film. So I would recommend going to the store, 30th, I'm recording this. This will come out tomorrow. I would get to the store ASAP, get you some supplies, make sure you've got all kinds of stuff because this is the kind of shit when they turn the power grid out. Now, it's like I live in a small town. Nothing's going to happen in a small town. But if you live in one of these giant Democrat-ran cities, I would be very fucking careful. And I would protect myself. Hopefully you have a firearm. Hopefully you can protect yourself and your family. Hopefully you have. This is why 9 years ago they told you everybody needs 10 days worth of food for when this big plan goes into the next phase. And they've got so many psyops going with this comet alien ship that's coming in. It's just whatever the event is, they're going to have lots of excuses of why it's happening. They always have a cover story, a second cover story, and a third cover story ready to go at a moment's notice. So they can do anything they want in the government, the scientist-occupied government, and then they could just create or fabricate any story they need in order to pass off whatever agendas they need. So it's going to be very interesting. I'm sitting back, I'm watching, I'm waiting. I think it would be really great if it was like November 3rd comes around, and there's all these blacks getting ready to go into stores. They just fucking crank up the 5G towers to max. Unload all the fucking spores, break loose. All these nutty people just go fucking insane. And then the military has to come in. And, these aren't African Americans down on their luck. These are going to be violent, triggered animal people that are just going to fucking go nuts. Like the Rwanda, when half the population decided to just go kill the other half, and they turn up their radio frequency weapons to the max, and it's just a bloodbath everywhere. That is going to happen. And I think in the eyes of history, it has to be so bad that they tell you every commercial shows black people and they're happy and yeah, thank you for using Chris. Good job. And in reality, it's just stabbing you on the fucking train, stabbing you, killing you, murdering you, breaking in. I mean, history has to record how bad these people truly were and why the next actions are necessary, which I think it's round up all these people, send them back to Africa. Send them however many dollars. You'll get the $100,000 once you get to Africa. Build them ghetto cities and just, you'll be happier there. Trust me. You'll be happier in Mexico. It's where you're coming from. You'll love it there. It's just for you. The climate is just for you. You will love it. The same with Africa. It's nice there. You don't need a heating bill. It's hot all the time. You'll dig it. And something's going to happen to pull these people back. Now, I heard years ago that there is, like, Africa has the most resources of all these countries. But the people are so dumb and low IQ that they can't do anything. Okay, the government's always corrupt. The second you give them a little hand, it's corrupt. So, if you give the people of Africa like a stipend off the gold under the soil or something, and then, I don't know what needs to be done, but everyone needs to return to their home base, and we need to get things back on track very quickly. Okay, my battery's almost dead, so I gotta speed this up. So I would be very careful in the coming days when this food shortage happens and all this stuff. Now, eventually it will work out. Eventually, I think they'll say we're going to send a $2,000 stimulus to every American, yada, 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 right when the food stamps cancel. Try to, well, well, I don't know, stifle the insurrectionists. and that will then lead to a monthly $2,000 a month, and that's all you need because realistically, how the fuck can you spend more than $2,000 a month on groceries? It's impossible. I mean, if you had four people, could you spend? I mean, yeah, you could if everyone's going to eat steak and lobsters every day. But in reality, you could have soup a few days a week. And chicken's not that expensive. And rice-a-roni is not that expensive. And all this other stuff is not that expensive. And you can do it for cheaper. Now you give them the $2,000, you get rid of the EBT, the grocery prices come way down because you're not being subsidized by the government to buy snack cakes and shit, and things would work itself out pretty quickly. All right, wrapping it up. I got done with my roof. It fucking turned out great. It was a massive, massive project over summer. I'm going to do a whole video on my roofing project, and I'll be tips and tricks for down the road if anyone else has to do a roof on their house. I am currently transforming my What Really Happened documentary into a book. It's almost done. I got another day or two to work on it, and then I will get it for sale on Lulu.com in time for Christmas. Now, on my Patreon, Modern American Gangster on Patreon, I just added my first book, The Great Awakening. So if you go on my Patreon, The Great Awakening, you can either buy a digital PDF download of my Great Awakening book for $9.99, or if you just subscribe to Patreon for a month, you can download it for free. It comes with the Patreon. Now, eventually, I will put the new book on there, and probably this turned out so well putting my slide presentation for my video into a written book. I'm going to go back through some of my past videos and make a book about that. So the demonic entities, aliens, and extraterrestrials, the deep underground military bases, all those I will convert into a book, PDF file, and people can download them, and they'll have all this information on hand. But it's only for the paid Patreon members, so please subscribe on Patreon. What else? Anything else? We're getting to November. I'm done with my pumpkin patch. I got my pumpkins planted. Well, taking those are my pumpkins. They turned out really great. Uh, it's just there's so much going on, and yet nothing's happening. You know, nothing's happening at the individual level, but everything is gearing up for this massive fucking event, which I thought they were going to do way more with this alien, you know, with more sightings, and, you know, like kind of like how they did with the Phoenix Lights in the 90s, where the lights are just flowing. But nothing ever comes out of anything. It's just what a fucking waste of time. Why are you wasting our time telling us about some shit that you can't see, you can't in a photograph it, you can't see it, but get really hyped up about this alien comet. All the stuff with Joe Rogan and these fucking idiots are fascinated by the arrival of the ships. And it's like, dude, there is no fucking outer space. All this stuff is fucking fake. What else is really going on? More and more proof that there is a biblical war being fought. And we're getting to the point where it's going to be very out in the open very soon. You know, if this ship lands and Jesus gets off the ship and starts telling everybody about flat Earth and how space is fake and shit, maybe we'll be on board. But you can't trust anything that is told or is presented as an organic thing on the computer. It never is, and it never goes anywhere. So we all need to stay frosty, protect yourselves, protect your families. I would definitely not be going to the store on the November 1st through November 5th. I would just let this play out and but have supplies because if they declare martial law on November 3rd, that could last a week. And then you're not going to be wanting to go downtown and go to the store It's complete fucking chaos. The world is ending because of the black community is rioting again. How many fucking times does the black community riot? Well, if you've seen my new documentary, if you've seen what really happened and looked into the past, every fucking couple years they just riot over racism. And it's never their fucking problem. It's white people. And they're always riled up by the Democrats who are all fucking boomer Jews. And we gotta deal with this because they all have private people to do their shopping stuff. But it doesn't matter. Okay, just be ready for this big event. It could be happening very soon, and it could be a nothing burger, but there's hundreds of videos of these black people saying they're going to riot, rob, and steal, and shoot, and all this stuff. And then you've got the Mexican community. Bullshit! You need to pay for our life. I need fucking tortillas for my kids. Okay, seriously. Fucking white people need to pay me $4,000. We're gonna fucking riot. Okay, you're not fucking excellence anymore. We're gonna come to Mexico if you don't give some money. Alright, let's just fuck people. This is like a lesson that the white people need to learn. You can't bargain and help these people. They don't want your fucking help. They want you to die, and they want to take all your shit. Whatever. We'll see what happens. I think it's gonna heat up very quick, but let's just see where this goes. All right? Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for checking this out. I'll see you next month sometime when we are going to the next video. Lots of new stuff coming, lots of new videos coming. If you see me on YouTube streaming, pop in and say hello. I'm going to start doing some more streaming. And I'll see you guys next time.